All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this powerful episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, Peter Obi, while speaking on Parallel Facts weeks ago, said APC officials gather to discuss him and the Obedient family. You can imagine how jobless and useless these people are. You gather and begin to discuss a man that you claim came third in an election. They are so jobless that they hold meeting on Peter Obi. And yes, Obi is people's favorite. And if you want to retain power, it is normal to be wary of him. But how can you abandon the real business of governance to focus on your opponent? Why not perform well so that Nigerians can choose you the way they chose Obi? But the APC came out and denied Obi's claims. They said they don't discuss him. They said they don't pay attention to all he says. Even though presidency replies every single tweet that Obi puts up, they still came out and denied the fact that they hold meetings and talk about this man. Of course, they did that to save face because it doesn't just make sense. But in this video that set the internet on fire, TINUBU's cabinet members with other APC chiefs and supporters gathered to discuss on the way forward on TINUBU's 1-year celebration in office. And all of a sudden, one of the speakers started talking about obedience. And another one tried to shut him down quickly, but it was too late. Before I show you that video, let me quickly show you this fierce interview by Peter Obi's vice, Yusuf Datti. Datti, in this interview, completely took Wole Soyinka to the cleaners. See the video.
The learned elder statesman, Professor Wole Soyinka, he is scared in advance about what good Peter Obi will bring to Nigeria. He's scared in advance that the end is still looking very likely for his principle, for bad governance. And what Soyinka is doing now is an attempted distraction, which I beg you to excuse me from joining issues with Wole Soyinka, please. You and I have much, much better things to do. For all I know, he could continue to throw punches at my principal, at me, as small as I am. He could continue to do that. All I can do, I will grieve in my heart, I will pray for him. You see, intellect does not give you the right to insult anybody. I remember this Soyinka insulting late General Abacha, insulting him to the core, that he was daft, he was that. Nothing gives him the right to do that. He had no rights. Abacha was not an academic. He was a soldier, for God's sake, and a good one for that matter, in his own way, in his own right. I beg you, let us please put Soyinka and his likes aside. We have better things to talk about.
Wow, that was the fearless and straightforward Yusuf Datti there, totally taking Professor Wole Soyinka to the cleaners. The same Soyinka who called Abacha and Obasanjo all sorts of names on TV is now complaining about insults. And remember, he also called the then First Lady, Dame Patience, Jonathan's wife, a sheepopotamus. Yes, Soyinka called her a sheepopotamus. Today, he wants respect. And worse still, he is asking for respect while standing with the oppressors of the people. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. And this tweet here by Nigeria Election Police says, Baba Ahmed never fails in offering the right responses. Nigerians should move on to more important matters and forget about a man who has no usefulness for our future and is merely waiting to join his ancestors. Let's stay focused and stop wasting our energy on Soyinka. Chai! And this tweet by Deji Lewis says, I too like this man. He no send anybody, Papa. That he no send anybody, Papa. And that is why I love him. He speaks his mind fearlessly and he keeps encouraging Nigerians that our docility is the reason why we are being taken for granted by this political class. Count them, how many them be? They are not even up to 3,000. Less than 3,000 people holding the entire nation to ransom. But I keep saying it, it is the hate in the hearts of the people that these guys are riding on. If Nigerians can cast that hate, those sentiments aside, then they can take their country back. Now, let us look at that video where APC members, TINUBU cabinet members gathered to discuss the way forward as regards his 1 year in office celebration. And one member began talking about obedience. Oh, another one tried so much to shut him down, but it was too late. See the video.
The achievement of this administration has been underreported. I am urging the Ministry of Information, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and all other parastatals, agencies of government who are saddled with the responsibility of telling Nigerians what the Bola Ahmed TINUBU administration has achieved to increase their tempo. Those of them in the street are being intimidated by the propaganda from the Obedience platform, from the Atiku and PDP platform. I'm telling you the truth.
Thank you.
Please. So we need to increase the tempo on what the Asiwaju administration has achieved.
You saw that. Such a big APC platform claiming that Peter Obi and Obedients are the ones in charge of communication in Nigeria. Obedients are the ones misinforming Nigerians. Now, for that man to have said that publicly, a lot must have been discussed behind closed doors. He said the Ministry of Information should inform Nigerians about TINUBU's achievements. What a daft statement. Do these people have brains at all? Was it the Ministry of Information that informed me about the price of the mudu of Gari that I bought yesterday? Does Abdullahi in Kano need the Ministry of Information to inform him of the price of the bag of rice he bought last week for his family? Does Mustafa in Niger State need the Ministry of Information to tell him about the mudu of beans that he bought this morning? No. If the administration is performing, Nigerians will see for themselves. They don't need any ministry to come and tell them. You cannot blame your failures on the Obedient family. Obedients were not the ones who told you to increase import duties 4 times in 3 months. Yes. Obedients were not the ones who told you to remove subsidy on electricity, thereby increasing electricity tariffs. You know the consequences of your actions and you went ahead. Obedients have been encouraging you to open the land borders so that food can be imported into Nigeria to reduce inflation. Have you done that? You know, a lot of people, including APC supporters, thought that TINUBU was going to open the borders immediately. Some even started lying that he had opened the borders. But till now, the land borders are still closed. And inflation is on the rise. You don't want to do that. You want the people to keep suffering. Obedience warned you not to float the naira, but you refused. Virtually all the counsels and ideas that can help this administration to perform have been offered to them by Obedience in form of constructive criticism, but they didn't follow any. Now they want to turn around and blame Obedience for their failure. How? Just how? And in other news, certificate forgers, drug offenders, not eligible for TINUBU student loan scheme, FG. Bola Tinubu's administration says convicted certificate forgers, drug offenders and cultists are not eligible for the federal government student loan scheme. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund, the administrator of the student loan scheme, disclosed this in its frequently asked questions which were posted on its official X handle on Friday. NELFund said applications by citizens convicted of fraud and forgery, drug offenses, cultism, felony, or any offenses involving dishonesty would be rejected. Others whose application will be rejected include anyone proven to have defaulted in respect of any previous loan granted by any licensed financial institution and anyone found guilty of submitting fake or fraudulent documents and dismissed for exam malpractices by any school authority. On Friday, NELFund opened the application portal for the first phase of the student loan scheme, which is open to students from federal institutions across the country. This is hilarious to say the least. Very funny. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. Olasupo Jakes here says, Tinubu is not eligible for his own student loan. That is so funny. And Olajide here says, yeah, they are not eligible for student loan, but they can always become president. Chai! This category is not eligible for student loan, but you can allow them go higher in life. And it's funny, you know, the kind of conditions they give you if you want to work in a private company in Nigeria. 7 years experience, this and that, expertise in this, expertise in that. But the owner of that same company will go and support a man that does not have expertise to even become the president of Nigeria. What a contradiction. And this tweet here by Joseph Aya says, after passing the door, you want to lock it. Is it good? Oh! And D here says, please tell me, is it Tinubu that is giving loan or is it Nigerian government? APC has finished that country, and it is time all parties come together to remove APC, because in the next 8 years, APC will destroy democracy in Nigeria. Is it in the next 8 years? We have only one chance left. Yes, just one more try. If the wish and the will of the people does not prevail after this one last chance, then that is the end of it all. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go away.